Hello there. Greetings, my friends. My name is Saeed. I am an online English language teacher, and this is another video episode from the series of lessons devoted to the vocabulary for the IELTS speaking section. In this episode, we will be focusing on primarily the topic of technology. That's right, guys, one of the most interesting topics in my opinion. So, the subject of technology frequently comes up on the IELTS speaking exam. You may be asked to talk about something you own, for example, a device, like a telephone or whatever, your favorite websites, maybe social media, or maybe just a question of how technology has shaped up the process of education. Of course, you will need to show the examiner your ability to express yourself using a wide range of vocabulary, and you have to do this as best as possible to get the desired Band 9. So, as I always suggest in the beginning of the video lessons, you need to focus on the screen, what you see, or maybe if you're not watching the video, just keep listening in your headphones or just, loudspeakers. But also I need you to focus on, of course, when you turn into the watching mode rather than listening mode, I suggest you focus on the vocabulary, the expressions that are highlighted in this orangey yellowy color. Alright? Of course, the definitions of these will be available in the end of the lesson, so you can get acquainted with them a bit closer. Now, without further ado, let's move on to the speaking section 1. So, speaking part 1, the part 1 style questions. Let's begin. Do you enjoy using technology? The guy named Stefan expresses his opinion. Well, I wouldn't call myself a techie or a computer buff, but I enjoy using computers. I'd like to find out more about how they work, and when my computer crashes, I never know what to do. I kind of find myself in this answer, almost. Next question. Do you use the internet for your studies? The girl named Sophie says, yeah, I'd be lost without it. I do lots of video conferencing to practice speaking, and social media like Facebook is a great way to meet up with other students. And I download podcasts that teach English vocabulary and grammar. And the final question from the speaking part 1, do you have your own computer? The girl named Tanya says, yeah, I have a MacBook Pro. I use it all the time for word processing, browsing websites, and catching up with TV programs that I have missed. Wow, the MacBook Pro, huh? Well, that's quite an expensive paraphernalia. No, this is a great computer. Okay, so let's go to the second part of the IELTS speaking, the speaking part 2, and there we're going to see the cue card, right, which will be related to the topic of technology as well. Let's go. So, describe an item of technology you have that is very important. You should say what the technology is, when you got it, and how often you use it. And also specify how difficult your daily life would be without this technology. Well, guys, as always, I'd like to suggest to you to stop the video, to pause the video for, I don't know, like 1 minute or maybe 3 minutes to make sure that you have 60 seconds to write out the notes and a couple of minutes to act out the answer itself, trying to imagine, you are in the test room, in the very test-taken environment. And then, after you're done, you can resume playing and see the Band 9 model answer on the next slide. And we, of course, without losing a single second, will go on to the next slide. And bam, here we are. The boy named Peter is talking about his technology. I don't have many gadgets, just a computer, a laptop, and my mobile phone. But I'll talk about my computer as it's so useful. It's funny, really. 2 years ago, I was still learning how to use computers, how to use email, send attachments, how to access websites. Then I decided to do a digital editing course for video and photography. And so I bought the laptop when I started the course. My wife had a desktop PC, but it was very slow, So I decided to upgrade to a powerful one because we do a lot of video editing on the course. So it's a high-spec laptop, very fast, the latest operating system. It boots up really quickly and it's fun to use, so it makes working a pleasure. I have become a competent computer user now. If I didn't have it, I dare say I'd have to spend more time at college using their computers. But on the positive side, I suppose, I'd read a lot more if I didn't have it. I probably waste a lot of time surfing the web, but hopefully I won't have to be without it. Wow, what a great answer, huh? So as you might have heard or noticed, some of the expressions, well, probably all of the expressions, which are highlighted, they kind of belong to a specified terminology glossary that can be found, in the topic of computer industry, for instance. And that, I guess, is one of the strongest assets that can ensure the test taker who speaks just like that to get the highest band, score possible, the band 9. That's the result I'm sure that we all are trying to, aspire. Okay, now we're going to go to the speaking part 3. Part 3 style questions. What do you think? What do you think are the important things people need to learn when they start using computers? The muchacho que se llama Alejandro, which means the guy whose name is Alejandro, he is thinking, well, there are things like how to use the internet, how to enter a web address, how to navigate websites, that kind of thing, but it's also important how to, it's important to know how to back up your files in case your computer crashes, and all about internet security. Good answer, I love it. Next question. What kind of technological developments have made the biggest impact on our lives? The girl named Farzona is expressing her opinion. In my lifetime, it has to be the internet, of course, but I also think Wi-Fi has made a huge difference to how we interact with the internet. Wireless networks at home and public Wi-Fi hotspots mean we can go online easily, access our mail, log into our work intranet, and basically be connected to wherever we are. A fantastic answer. I love it too. Lots of terminology. Do computers make it much easier to study? The girl named Taisia is providing her answer to us. Definitely yes. Researching information is much easier with the internet. You can bookmark web pages for future reference, and writing essays is much easier. Being able to cut and paste sections of text means you can experiment with organization. So, yes, compared to years ago when you had a pile of books on your desk and a pen and paper, it's now much easier. Well, guys, we're done with the questions and answers, and now I think we shall go on to the vocabulary, to the definitions, okay? Technology vocabulary definitions. To access websites or email means to locate, like to, find and enter, okay? To back up files, that is to make a copy of files in case of a computer problem. That's something that I tend to forget quite often. Yeah, so that's a good word. To boot up, to start a computer. To bookmark a web page, to mark a web page for future references. Well, it's like, you add the web page to your favorites. Okay, that's another way to say it. To add a page to the favorites. To browse websites, to look at websites, to open websites. A computer buff, that would be an expert computer user. Band 9 computer user. To crash, to suddenly stop working. If you maybe heard this expression when I was younger, we heard the expression which was called something like the blue screen of death. Like when your computer gives out the blue screen, it's not like, responding to any commands, like you're clicking, you're pressing all the buttons, but it's like nothing. There was like an expression, the blue screen of death, like the computer probably has kicked the bucket, like it died. All right. To cut and paste, to move text or images from one place in a document to another place. All right, Control C, Control V, right? Okay, so a desktop PC, it's a computer that isn't portable and remains in situ on a desk. In situ means it's like, you know, like it's not for like moving, like it's immovable, okay? It's just standing and that's it. Digital editing, to edit digital materials like audio or video files. Right, that's something that I do every time before processing, before releasing the video lessons for you guys out there. Yes, I do lots of digital editing, rendering, and other things. Download, well in this case, download podcasts means to save a copy of a file from the internet to your own device, like downloading information, getting the information from the internet to your hard drive or whatever you are using. Okay, next expression is to enter a web address. Well, that's pretty easy. To type the address on a website, into the address bar of your browser. Okay. A gadget, well, that's a technological tool like a mobile phone or camera. To go online means to start using the internet. That's pretty obvious, I think. High-spec laptop or high-spec desktop or just high-spec computer. It's a powerful computer with top quality components. I think nowadays that's not advisable to, you know, purchase these components because they are much overpriced, you know, due to some facts. If you guys know anything about cryptocurrency and stuff like that, like the miners, they are like purchasing all the components, creating a huge demand, and the retailers, they're like feeling this, you know, like smell of cash income, and they're like, you know, getting the prices up so high that we, the ordinary users, are just dreaming on the side, thinking about the times when these details become cheaper. Sorry about that, okay? It was not meant to come out of my mouth. I just said it, and I don't want to, you know, like re-record this video like for the 52nd time, because that's actually the 51st attempt of recording. All right, okay, let's continue with the expressions. So, internet security, well, that means the internet safety, like the antiviruses and stuff. Intranet, like do not confuse the word intranet with the word internet, okay? Intranet is a network of connected computers within an organization that is not accessible by unauthorized visitors. Okay, so this is like the private network of the company computers, and only the company computer users can access them. Okay, so to navigate a website means to find your way around a website. You know, like you're, you know, opening different parts of the website, just like, you know, scrolling down the menu and stuff. Operating system, the software that tells the computer how to work. Send an attachment means send an email with an accompanying file. So it's like you are, you know, like pasting the file and sending the file along with a message. Okay. Social media. Well, media used to interact with other people, such as Facebook or Twitter. To surf the web means to look at a series of websites one after the other. A techie, well, that's somebody who has an interest in technology. I don't like the phrase computer geek, but, well, that's kind of, yeah, goes on the same way. Okay, and we have the final 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words, right? 5 phrases. To upgrade means to obtain a more powerful or feature-rich computer or piece of software. All right. Video conferencing, to see and hear people from different locations using the internet. Wireless hotspot is a public place where you can access the internet. Wireless network is a network where users can access the internet without the use of fixed cables. And finally, we have word processing. It means producing written texts on a computer. Well, my friends, this is it. The lesson is over. I hope you find this material very useful for you, and I will be very happy if that is indeed so, okay? I wish you the best of luck with your preparation, and please stay tuned for the upcoming next videos. I've got the whole thing planned, a lot of new topics, word lists, exercises, tons of stuff to do and to enjoy, you know, studying, right? So thank you so much, and I will be very happy to see you in the next upcoming video episodes. Bye!